Hello, it is that time again. Here we are with the things that have been in my everyday makeup drawer rotation for the last, I don't know, several weeks, right? It feels like it's been months. Has it been months? So we're going to walk through these things that have been in my everyday makeup drawer rotation for the last several weeks. This is my shop, my stash, and I hope that you're here for it. For those of you new here, hi, my name is Donna. I am a lover of all these things, colorful beauty and self-care, and ultimately this channel is my self-care. So I like to come out here, do shop my stashes, maybe do some reviews, maybe do some project panning, and this is what soothes my soul. If it soothes your soul also, I encourage you, please subscribe before you go. And that said, let's jump into talking about these products, because I like to talk to you guys about the products before I roll in the new products for the new rotation. And I am a little bit of a chatty channel, so if that's what you're here for, you made it. You got your girl. So thank you guys so much for joining me today, and let's just jump right in. All right, so these are the items that have been in my Shop My Stash rotation for the last several weeks. Let's just walk through some of them. I have used, I think, pretty much everything, barring a couple of things. So there's that. I used both. We're just going to start with the big stuff over here. I used both these glow kits. This one is the Sugar Glow Kit. Looks like this. I used all of these shades. Even this one, which is really, really golden, but it blends out like just so beautifully on my skin. So I really thought that there'd be, that one specifically that might be something that I decluttered after this, but I really kind of like it. Like, all of these are really quite beautiful. And I told myself I wasn't going to swatch everything, but I mean, aren't those just pretty? This one, super unique, but not this guy here. I think if I were to get rid of one of these shades, it would be that one. But that is a really pretty golden highlight, so I think I'm going to keep it. Now this one does have a couple of dark ones. This one is in Sun Dipped. This one does have a couple of dark ones that I didn't feel like I could wear all that well. This one and this one both seemed really dang dark. This one can be buffed out to work rather well, but still leaves kind of a cast, as you guys can see on my skin. So I don't know. And then there's that one and Moonstone. These two, gorgeous. Wore them all the time. These two, didn't wear them at all. I would probably maybe keep this one. I mean, it is just really pretty. I think I have some Sydney Grace highlights that could fit in here, or I could take these two out and put them in the big like Sephora double. Hold on, let me go grab it. See, I have this, and it's got these 6 in here, which are Sydney Grace, and I think the Sydney Grace ones are too small. Yeah, they're too small for in there. But I think I could pull these 3 and these 4 out and put them all in here and just have like one big highlighter thing instead of mini. I might do that. Are these? I mean, we know they come out. Oh, they are labeled on the back. I might take these out. Yeah, I might take these out and put them in that. And then I've got some highlights from Sydney Grace that are too dark for me that I can put in here and give away to a friend. But I used this 100,000 times over the last several weeks. This was actually probably one of my favorite items to use. I love these two blushes together with almost every eye look that I did. I used this bronzer so many times. This, what is this? The finishing powder? So pretty. So pretty. It reminded me why I purchased this in the first place, because I hardly ever use this anymore. Yeah, that's the finishing powder dim light. And then we have soft light finishing powder there. And then we have the metallic strobe powder. So that was the highlight, which was, I mean, it reminds me a lot of the gold one that we just saw in the glow kit here. And then the bronzer lustrous bronze light, which I think I have in full size. No, I have nude bronze light. And then blush iridescent coral and blush radiant rose. I loved mixing those two. I mean, Hourglass just has some really beautiful powders, so really happy to have this. This is the only Hourglass palette that I have. It's the only one that I was really drawn to. Actually, I take that back. I really wanted that blue, what is it? What was it on it? Like a squid or an octopus. I really wanted that one a couple years ago. This blush kit, the Saharan Blush Volume 2 from Juvia's Place, I used quite a bit. This highlight is more of a blush topper for me. It is really quite pretty though. This one is definitely a blush topper for me. Look at how crazy that is. It's so pretty. And then this blush was honestly my favorite one to use. Love this. We'll keep it around. And then the Cheek Leaders palette. This is so freaking old, and my friend Grace gave this to me way back in the day when I first started Ulta, I do believe. So it's pretty old because I was at Ulta for 6 years. I've not been at Ulta for 1 year, and yeah, really old. So this is Tickle, and this is a beautiful pink highlighter. So blinding. Dallas is a really pretty kind of almost the same kind of blush bronzer that the one in here is, this Yara. I mean, I think that they're both kind of warm toned, but really pretty. Could lean both bronzy and blushy. Dandelion is way too light for my skin. I just feel like it is, there's just nothing there that shows up on my skin. I really like California. I really love Hoola. We all know I love Hoola. So like of the 5 products in this palette, these 3 were used the most. As a matter of fact, I think when I pulled this out, California still had its like overspray on it, and it no longer has that overspray, but it's such a beautiful blush. It's kind of luminous. It reminds me of like Milani Luminoso, only like better in that way because it's not like super highlighty, just slightly luminous. These two mixed together weren't super bad. This one though just did not show it. I mean, you guys can see like the dandelion across it is barely visible anymore because I just went ham in it trying to make it work for me, and it just wasn't. So I kind of wonder if these come out of here, because this is pretty cumbersome, right? I thought about depotting these and getting them into a reusable a Z palette of sorts, but I just don't know that I have one big enough. If I did that, dandelion I would not keep dandelion. I don't know why I would. I would probably give it to my daughter who's super pale. This was the other like face palette that I brought in, and it was new to me when I brought it in. It is the Dibs Blush and Bronzer Duo Stick. I don't know what the name of it is, but it is in the shade 5.5, which I know was too deep for me when I purchased it. But the truth of the matter is that the one that I wanted for sure, they didn't have in stock, and I did like the blush on this stick and thought that I could make the bronzer work. This is the blush. The blush is really pretty. It's a really deep kind of like mauve-y tone that's actually quite beautiful in my humble opinion, and it blends out beautifully. It really does work. This bronzer is always I mean, I did use it quite a few times, but the blush is called Wine Not, and the bronzer is called Cocoa Kiss. And I mean, it is really deep on my skin, so and kind of warm toned. It's not my favorite, but I made it work. It is really nice. I do like the formula of this. I think it blends out beautifully, and I'm super happy to have it in my collection. I think that I maybe need to pick up a different shade. Of course, we knew that that wasn't my shade when I picked it up in the first place, but it worked. It worked in a pinch. I was happy to get some use out of it for sure. Now moving into complexion, I did bring in these two powders. This powder I didn't use because I had one in my project pan that I'm trying to use that it's just a little tiny itty bitty sample, but it's taken me 400 years to use it. So I didn't use this guy. So I am going to keep this one in. This one I did use actually quite a bit. I love this Huda Beauty powder. This is the Cherry Blossom Cake Baby Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder. This is just the travel size, and I really think that this is the size of powder that I can purchase for myself forever, and it will last forever. I hate this sponge though. I know that it's in here too, you know, for the convenience factor, but I don't like that sponge, so I just use a puff. I just dump some out onto my palette and use a puff on it, and it works really well. I love it as an under eye setting powder. It's beautiful and brightening and works really well. Okay. These are the single eyeshadows that I brought into this rotation, actually, I think 2 rotations ago. And I left them in last rotation because I hadn't used any of them. So I did use this one recently, actually, in a purple eye look that I think you guys will see or have seen in a recent video. This is the Super Shock Shadow in the shade Ripple. I have a nice pan going right there. Can you guys see that? Holy moly, it's such a big pan. So excited about that one. I might put this one into my project pan next year because it's actually a really beautiful color, and it's got that giant pan in it, so I feel like it wouldn't take long to finish it. It's just kind of not super overwhelming. It's not super impactful, but it's really beautiful as a topper. So still really creamy. My ColourPop Super Shocks have been in my collection forever. But all of these are still super creamy. All the ones I've used anyways are still super creamy. So use this one, Ripple, that one will go back. I use this one, which is in Ritz, just a couple times. This one is a fairly new one to me, and I really enjoy it as just a topper on top of shadows to give it a little bit more oomph, a little bit more kick, a little bit more sparkle. It was super pretty, so I will put this one back. I know that this one is supposed to be a dupe for Urban Decay's Moonstone in Space Cowboy. I think that this is perfectly fine. I don't know what the big hype about Space Cowboy is, to be honest. This is beautiful, but if this is a Space Cowboy dupe, I don't think that you need both, and this one is just so pretty, and it's like, what are these, like $6? So there's that. I did use this one, which is Lady Bird, and this one is so sparkly, and I mean, just see me from the moon. It is so pretty. I am just shocked by how emollient these are still. Half the reason why I pulled them into these Shop My Stashes is because I'm certain one day I'm going to open it up and it's going to be so dry I can't use it anymore, but that's just not the case right now. I think that Lady Bird would be a beautiful See Me From the Moon highlight as well. But there's so much, like, can you guys see all the glitter on my hand now? It's crazy sauce. This one I don't think I used. Yeah, this one I didn't use. This is in Fine Pearl. So this one will stay in. And this one I also didn't use, which is Valley Girl. This one will also stay in. It's like maybe a white gold. I can see the rings here. I think that this one could be an easy one to put into my project pan as well. I don't think I have any of my Super Shocks on my Panda Plan list. I don't think I have any eyeshadows on my Panda Plan list. Maybe I should put those two on my Panda Plan. Or some Super Shocks anyways. These two Moonstone palettes are Moonstone Shadows by Urban Decay. I have Solstice, which is this one. Probably one of my favorite single eyeshadows in my collection. It's just such a beautiful shadow. And then this one is Glitter Rock. Solstice I paid for myself. Glitter Rock I got in gratis. And I love it also, just not quite as much as Solstice. But they're so pretty. So I was really happy to get some use out of them. They're really great for topping over the top of anything, just to bring a little bit more impact to them. And that's really what I use them for. I don't really like them alone on an eye look. I don't feel like they feel or look super comfortable. Feel super comfortable or look really great on their own, because I feel like there just has to be like a base layer underneath them for them to really come to life. This is my Kaja Bento box in Sparkling Rose. I didn't use this at all, so I am going to leave it in. I remember when, was it Smoky Glow used to talk about these things like they were the next best thing to cookies, and I don't know that I love it, but I'm gonna leave it in because I didn't use it. Now the rest of this stuff, I do believe I used, maybe minus a couple of lipsticks. I think that this is going to go into my planned pan for next year. This is almost gone. It is also just slightly too warm for me. I have it in the shade 9. I think, I mean, my Fenty Beauty foundation sticks are in 4 and 6, so why I have 9 in this I will never know, but I need a different shade of this for sure. I can make this work, but it's definitely a little too warm for me, so I am going to put this into my planned pan for 2026 and be done with it pretty close to the beginning of the year, because it's almost done anyways. It's a beautiful skin tint. It's got a lot more coverage than the average skin tint, so I really like it for that reason. I just think that it's really pretty, and I don't want it to go to waste because I do like it. I just have to work with it. Like, I mixed it with this quite a bit because this is pretty light on me. I also mixed it with the two, well, specifically with this concealer quite a bit, because that concealer is really light. So just to make it a little bit light, and then I'd put like some blue fixer drops in it, blending drops in it, to get that warmth out of there. So I know I can do it. I know I can use it. I know I can make it work, but it is too warm for me. And the next time I pick it up, because this is one I would want to have in my collection, I would get a different shade. This skin tint I used a couple times. It also feels a little bit warm on me. I wish I had a different shade of it. I did mix it with my blue mixer just to take a little bit of that warmth out of it, which worked beautifully, but I think next time I got this, I would want to get a different shade also. This is a really good serum skin tint though, really lightweight, doesn't feel like anything on your skin, and that's the kind of like foundation I really want to have on my skin. I don't want to fill the makeup. It's light enough so I couldn't put like my white mixing in it, but it is too warm and kind of, I don't know if it necessarily shows up as warm on my face if you were just looking at me, as I felt it made me look just putting it on my skin. So I can make it work though. This is actually quite pretty. I like this a lot. This is the Milk Hydro Grip Gel Tint, and I've heard like mixed emotions about this, but I really did like it. I think I also heard that it is maybe not great for dry skin, but I've got fairly dry skin. I really liked how it looked on my face. I don't feel like my skin ate it up. I don't feel like it laid horribly. I actually feel like it looked really good on my skin, so I would repurchase this, and I'm definitely going to keep it in my collection. I had a really good time using it, and the ColourPop Pretty Fresh. Listen, this is probably my favorite drugstore foundation. I really like, let's see, L'Oreal had one that I used a long time ago with like a red cap. I think it was L'Oreal. I liked that one a lot too, but between the two of them, I feel like this has just this really pretty natural finish to it, and it feels hydrating, and my skin looks hydrated while wearing it and after wearing it. This might also go into my plan to pan next year just because it's one of my favorite foundations. It'd be really easy for me to use, and it is probably about here. I know the demarcation looks like it's about here, but that's because it was laying on its side. So I think it's about halfway done at this point. So I would definitely put that into my planned pan for next year as well, and think that it wouldn't take me long to get through it. So these two you might see in my planned pan. Some of these are definitely, this one specifically is definitely going into my planned pan for next year. These are my two Smashbox primers. I think that's it for Smashbox that I have in my collection. My mom liked the Photo Finish. I think I've received like 50 Photo Finish primers from Smashbox that I just always give to her, but these two I like. The Photo Finish Primerizer Hydrating Primer, I don't feel like it's anything special. If I'm honest with you, it feels like just an extra step in my skincare routine, not necessarily like it's a hydrating primer, which kind of stinks. It's very viscous, right? Is that the word? I mean, it's really like almost like milky water, which feels good on my skin, but also I don't feel like it's doing much to keep the hydration in my skin, which is odd because it says it's triple hyaluronic acid. So you would think it had what it needed to keep the moisture. I just don't feel like it's doing as much for hydrating my skin as something like this, you know, the Bobbi Brown face base does, or, you know, so many of my other hydrating foundations. And I think it's funny because I have so many friends that often say, I feel like it's just another step in my skincare routine. And I really haven't understood that with a lot of my other like hydrating, moisturizing primers, because I also felt like they were doing something for my makeup application. But this one is specifically a primer that I don't feel like is doing anything for my makeup application. So this might go into my planned pan for next year just because I like it. It's okay. It's just not a primer that I think I need in my collection. So getting it out of my collection would be ideal. And then this one, the Smashbox Photo Finish Illuminate Glow Primer. It's got vitamin C in it. It's actually really nice. I do like it, but I feel like when I use this, I feel like I look like slightly greasy. And I don't have, you know, greasy skin. I don't even have like dewy skin. I have super dry skin. So the fact that this makes me feel like I look and feel greasy doesn't make me want to use it. So this one also pretty much halfway gone. This one's a lot more full than this one for sure, but this one will also go into my planned pan for next year. I keep talking about my planned pan. I just started putting that list together, so that's why it's on my mind. This corrector, again, do you guys see the wrapper on it? Can you hear the wrapper on it? I didn't use it. It's lavender. What do you use a lavender corrector for? I think for sallowness in your skin. I got a lot of sallowness in my skin, I feel like. So why am I not using this? Who knows? Maybe I just need to take the wrapper off and just do it. But I'm going to leave it in This will be the third rotation that it's in. If I don't use it, actually, I just don't know why I keep it. Why do I keep half of them? Like, I've got all of these. And there's 1, 2, 3 of them that have, including this one, that have the wrapper still on them. Why do I keep them? Who knows? I'm gonna leave it in. I'm gonna leave it in. We're gonna look up some reasons to use it and use it. That is what we're gonna do. Okay. For concealers, I brought these 2 concealers in. I have to admit I used this one more, but I used this one more because I was using it in conjunction with the Fenty Ease Drops to kind of lighten them up, and this one is just slightly lighter. I feel like this one matches my skin tone a lot better than the other one, especially my facial skin tone. Especially when blended out, I just feel like it matches my skin tone a lot better. So I use this one a lot more to make that foundation work for me. That said, I used both of them. I mean, see, it is slightly lighter when blended out. I used both of them, and I think that they're both still really beautiful. This one is so old in my collection, but I think I still have probably 2 other ones in my collection that might be older than this one. I don't know. This one might end up in my plan to pan. I haven't made a decision yet on a concealer because when it was in here, I did notice that there was quite a bit of windowing in it, and I think it might be almost gone. So this one is still quite full. I love this guy so much. And I mean, I can't complain about either one of these. They will get put back though, because I did use them both quite a bit. This is the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer. I love this primer. It's got like this milkiness to it, yes, but when you first put it on your skin, it actually looks kind of blue for whatever reason. I'm not sure. It is such a beautiful primer. It really does make your skin look quite airbrushed. There's quite a bit of windowing in it. I think I'm probably halfway done with this guy, and I am sad that I'm halfway done with this guy. This is an expensive dang primer, and this is probably the 3rd bottle I've had in my collection. It's one of my favorites. Lastly, we have the lip products, and I did use quite a few of these lip products. And I also think that the lip liners that are in here might have just migrated into here because they were lip liners that I was using throughout the month. I think the only ones that I put in here were these 2, maybe these 3. I can't remember. Anyhow, I have 4 lip liners in here. This one I actually used surprisingly a lot over the last several weeks, but specifically over the last week. It was in the video that I had the purple eye look that I was talking about with this guy dabbed over the top. I used this as the lip liner underneath that lipstick. This one turned out to be a lot more. This is in Brink. Okay, so this one here, sorry guys. This one here is called X Factor. I don't know if they make this one anymore. This one is called Brink. It's a really beautiful, just peachy nude, but as it turned out, it was too peachy for some of the eye looks that I was going for over this season, so I didn't use it a whole heck of a lot. Often enough that I know I can not have it in my next rotation. This one is in Hoopty. I also don't know that this one is available anymore. Hoopty is actually really pretty. I liked it a lot. It looks a lot more brown though here than it actually does on the lips. It's kind of more of a burgundy. And then this is Milani All Natural, and this one also felt a lot more peachy than I could use for some of the eye looks that I was going after over this last couple months. So these 2 didn't get used a whole heck of a lot. These 2 did, which surprises me because, I mean, this isn't a color that I wear ever. So there's that. But I did use all of them, so they will all go back into their drawer. And then all of these lipstick crayons. I guess this isn't a lipstick crayon. This is like a little tiny lipstick. I did use this guy a couple times, actually. It was surprisingly prettier than I thought it was going to be on my lips. It's just so matte, actually. So I don't know that I love it because of how matte it is, but it is pretty. I'll keep it around for when I do need a good matte. By the way, this was Winky Lux Skinny Plump Demi Matte Lipstick in room service. I mean, it is a really pretty color. It's kind of like this, I don't know, odd corally pink color. It's really pretty, but it is really matte. So I don't know if I love it, but I will keep it. This one is Marc Jacobs Le Marc Liquid Lip Crayon, which is very strange to me, in Send Nudes, and I love this. Why they call it a liquid lip crayon, I will never know. The only thing that I don't love about it is when you first put it on, it is very mobile, so once it dries down, it's stuck. It's good, but it is pretty mobile when you first put it on, so you have to be very, very careful with it. I also don't love that this cap, just, you really have to like snap it on there or it dries out. I love that it feels like velvet. It is so comfortable to wear, and therefore it will stay. It's one of my favorites, and it's a metallic. I don't really love metallic lipsticks, but I like that one. This is just an e.l.f. lip crayon in the shade Natural. This one actually came in handy quite a bit as like a center of the lip, kind of like pouty lip kind of crayon. I really, really like it. I like those lip crayons by e.l.f. This one by NARS is in Valkyrie. It is one of their Power Matte High Intensity Lip Pencil, and it is in the shade Valkyrie, and I thought it was Valkyrie for the longest time. It's not Valkyrie, it's Valkyrie. It looks like it is a really like rusty red color, and it actually is not quite as brown red as I'd like it to be. It actually looks quite pink on my lips, which is very strange to me. I think I'm wearing it in a video and I actually make mention of the fact that it looks quite pink on my lips. This is a KVD Epic Kiss Nourishing Vegan Butter Lipstick, and this is in the shade She Defined. And when I purchased this, I really thought it was going to be a great color for me. I've used it a lot. You guys can see that hopefully in just the pure fact of where the lipstick is sitting in the tube. But it's actually quite a bit more coral than I think looks good on my lips. But I didn't mind it. I didn't mind using it. Another thing that I need to say about this NARS one is if I thought this one was super matte, this one is tenfold more matte than this one. So these two, not my favorite for comfort, but they are really pretty. This is a MAC Powdered Kiss Velvet Blur Slim Stick, and this was the winner chicken dinner of the lipsticks this last rotation. It's just super pretty, and you can see it looks kind of like this color, only maybe a little bit more brown. It's also a lot more comfortable than that Valkyrie was. I really liked this guy. I liked that I had a little bit of differences as far as like variation of lipsticks. There's a little bit of everything there, so I liked that. But the warmer ones just didn't go with the makeup looks that I was putting together over the last couple weeks, last month. This is a Mob Beauty lipstick that I got in my Lucky Bag last year, and it is in the shade M58, which I don't know what that is. This color, again, a little bit peachy pink for me, so I didn't use this. I will keep this in because I didn't use it. This one I did use. This is my Glamlight Chucky. I love this lipstick. It is very, very matte though, but really deep and kind of browny, almost toasty brownie red. And then this one by Clinique as in Mink, and this one also I love, but oh man, these days it's just so vampy for me. I don't typically wear this color anymore, but let me tell you, this color really went well with this lip liner right here because it just made this lip liner. This lip liner made this lipstick a little less brown, so kind of a little less vampy. It went really well with it. I think I only wore it once, but hey, once is more than I've used it in a very long time. But it's too cool for me. I liked it on, though. I think that's part of the problem. I liked it on me a lot. It just, like I said, it's just too cool for me. We're going to wash this up, and then we're going to start pulling the new products to fill this drawer back up. Okay, for my primer category, because it is going into winter, my skin looks a little bit less alive in the winter and a lot more dry in the winter. I feel like I need to bring in something that is hydrating and maybe also glowy. It's been a minute since I've used this. So I'm going to pull this in, which is the Natasha Denona Hygen Energizing and Hydrating Primer Serum. I'm going to pull that in. I think I will also pull in... I think I should also pull in this Valentino V-Lighter. This would be a good illuminating primer. Have I been on manual focus this whole time? I am so sorry, you guys, if it's been blurry. God bless America. Newbie problems. Like, who am I? I do think that I can bring this in too. This would be a good like illuminator, and it's got a good color to it. It doesn't turn me like orange, and I feel like it's been forever since I wore this also. And I think I'm gonna bring in the Bobbi Brown face base too. This is just a really good all around for me. Should I do that one? I should bring in this one. I'm gonna bring in these two as well. 4 primers. Why do I think I need 4 primers? Who knows? Here's the little Tatcha dude too, so I'll put that one in the drawer. Actually, I'm just gonna leave it in here because I'll know to come in here and check it out. This is a new primer to this collection, but it's a matte primer, and this is not the time for me to try a matte primer. It's also just a little Ulta Beauty one that I got as a gift with purchase, and an Ulta Beauty kit that I have. It's been forever since I've used this as well, but I don't feel like I want to use that one. So that'll be it for primers. Oh my goodness. Okay, powders, concealers, correctors. I do think I'm going to bring in, what am I going to bring in? I'm going to bring in the number 7 powder. It's been forever since I've used this. This is the Light, Lift, and Illuminate Triple Action Press Powder. This is supposed to be, I believe, I know it used to come in a, like a silver component that looked a lot more upper class than this, but I do believe that this is supposed to be the dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish. I could be wrong on that though, but this is a decent powder. I don't mind this powder. I'm also going to bring in, I bring in these ones all the time. Look at this powder in here. Like, why is that like that? Because my powders sit like upright like this, right? I'm going to bring in the Pat McGrath Light for my under eye powder. I do think that I'm putting this in my project pan next year too, because look at how flat that is. It's pretty flat at this point in time. I'm also going to bring in this one as, no, I'm not. I have a powder that is still in there from last time that I didn't use. So I'm not bringing in a loose powder, but I will bring in these 2 powders for concealers. I'm going to bring in the Dior because the Dior is old. It's, I think, currently, besides this one, which will take 500 years to finish, I think this one is the oldest concealer that I have in my collection. And I mean, yes, it lays on its side, but the fact that it's empty enough that you can see the doe foot in there tells me I should just bring it in and try and get as much use out of it as possible. It's a really good shade to match my skin right now. And then I'm also going to bring in this because this is new. So we like to bring in new stuff. This is the Soft Matte Complete Concealer in the pot. This is in vanilla, and that one would be my brightening under eye concealer that I will use. So we'll do that. I have the purple corrector already in. I bring another corrector in. I'm having trouble with just the purple corrector, so let's just leave it with the purple corrector. My under eyes have been crazy dark lately. Maybe I'll bring in, is it peach that I need? I think this one is too dark though. I think, actually, no, I think this one is probably the right color of peach for my skin. It might be too dark, but I think I'm going to bring in this peach one too to go along with the lavender one that I'm just not using. But this one I have used in the past. Yep, I think that's it for this drawer. Switching over to my phone's camera because my other camera is too cumbersome to get in this section here. These are all of my foundations. I think you guys can see those. And this one is new because it was decluttered to me, but I have one back there, so I know what this one is like, so I'm not going to bring this one in, but I am bringing all three of these foundations in because they're new and I want to get some use out of them before we pass the, well, I don't know, we might have already passed the window where I can't return them anymore, but we are going to bring all three of these in. This is the Clinique Even Better Clinical Foundation, and I have mine in the shade CN28 Ivory, or Very Fair. And then I also have the Natasha Denona High Glam Foundation in N4. I have tried this one already, and I quite love it. And then we have this one, which is the Tear Foundation, which I'm actually kind of scared of because after getting this, I heard that the red one is matte and the pink one is more dewy. And I, of course, picked up the red one, but I'll just, you know, make sure my skin is real moisturized. So hopefully this will look as great on the skin as everybody says it does. It's in 22N Shell Beige. I think that this is just a mini. I can't wait to try that. I've heard really good things about the Tear Foundation. So those are the foundations that we're bringing in. And you guys know we don't pick these eyeliner things. I just use those throughout the month as I see fit, and then the only thing that's left in here is like my Project Pan stuff and like all my skincare, and it's a damn mess down there. The lipsticks I might pick from here, but I just feel like I need to really, I don't know, these ones are relatively new, both of them, so I might bring these guys in. Maybe this lip oil. I think maybe also this lip oil. So we'll put these two lip oils in as well, but I think that's it from here. I did get a couple of new lip products in my birthday hauls. I'm going to bring in, I think, all of these things. Except for this. This is not new. It's just still in the box. This is my backup Clinique Almost Lipstick in Black Honey. But this is new. This is the Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm in Birthday Cake. This is a lip liner by Natasha Denona that my friend Andy just sent me in friend mail. This is in the shade Calla. It's one of her I Need a Rose lip liners. This is the Summer Fridays Butter Balm in Brown Sugar. These are both new as well. This was a birthday gift from Sephora. So this is a Mario, Makeup by Mario Moisture Glow Plumping Lip Serum in Rosewood Glow. And then this was the lip pencil that came with it. And this is in the shade Rich Mauve. This is an Ultra Suede Sculpting Lip Pencil by Makeup by Mario. So we'll bring in those. These aren't new either. Put those back. Why are these in here if they're not new? I'm gonna bring this one in. Actually, this one doesn't look like it's been used. I know I've used this one, which is in Crave, but this one is in Haze, and it's more of a red tone. This is one of their clicky lip gloss thingamajiggers. I think they're supposed to be plumping. They remind me a lot of the Tarte Maracuja stick, so I'm gonna stick that in here with this guy. These are not lipsticks, but also not really glosses, but also not really balms. I have all this that is also in here that I haven't used. Most of it is balms, though. These I got in an Ulta Beauty gift with purchase, so I will bring those in, and I will bring in the last two sheer tints as well. So lots of lip products again. Only 2 lip liners. Do I need to bring in another lip liner? My daughter pulled a red lipstick for me from for Deca Panning, so I think I probably need to bring in a red liner, but I don't know what color that red would go best with, so pause. I'm gonna go get that. That is the lipstick. It is Shocking Revelation by MAC in their Powder Kiss formula. It kind of leans a little pink. So I did pull these 3 lip liners. Let's see. I mean, just by looking at them, I would think this one by MAC is probably the best bet, but let's swatch them. Oh yeah, I definitely think the MAC one. So it goes MAC, Kylie, and then Urban Decay. I definitely think the MAC one is probably the better one. So we're gonna roll in that lip liner also to go with this crazy red lipstick that my daughter pulled for me for Deca Panning. And that would be it out of the lipstick category. I don't really pull any glosses into my drawer because, I mean, I wear gloss all the time, and I just like pull them as, why is that standing up like that? I think this goes over there, actually. I just kind of pull them in as, maybe I'll pull this one in because I think it's been a minute since I've used this, if at all. I think this has the potential to maybe be bad. I am also going to, I think, pull this one in. This one is from freaking Midas Cosmetics. This one also has the potential to be bad. Yeah. Oh, look at, there's this Kaja one. Clear down at the bottom. It's one of their heart melters. It's also a clicky one. That's it right there. I don't know. It kind of has a little bit of a mauve-y peachiness to it. It might be pretty. I'll bring that one in too. So look at that. We did pull in some glosses. This one I'm just going to go put back where it goes. I don't know why it ended up in my drawer. But that will be it for the lip categories. Okay. These are my highlighters and my face palettes. And I mean, right off the bat, you guys know that I'll be pulling these 2 guys in because they are new, and I always pull my new things in. This is the Curve Case Pressed made by Mitchell in the light version. This is a blush palette. I guess there's a couple of powders you could probably use as bronzers in here, but we're going to pull that in for blush. I have a lot of new blushes, so this is going to be a very blush heavy rotation, but that's okay. We're going to have lots to choose from. I also got this NARS face palette. This is the Ethereal Aura blush palette. Look at how pretty that is. And that's what it looks like. These are glowy, probably more as toppers. I love that it's kind of like, use this with this topper, this with this topper, this with this topper. I think this is a beautiful NARS face palette, and I have an affinity for NARS face palettes, so we're going to pull that one in as well. And that is mostly blushes. So I'm not going to pull any more of those in, and I might focus my attention on some highlighters. And I might focus my attention on some highlighters that I haven't touched in a very long time. Like some of my Ofra ones, my, like even this Dior one. Let's see. I think I'm gonna pull in these two from Ofra. I have Retrograde, which I think is a beautiful like lavender one with this. What is this one? I think this one is one that I used to have in full size and then got rid of because I had this guy. I can't remember what one this is though. I'm gonna bring this one in. I think that will suit for, you know, kind of pinky, but also, I mean, even though it's lavender, yes, it probably though will, yeah, that would be a good like pinky tone highlight. And then this is a good like regular, like just normal highlight. And then this one is in Cloud 9 Nikki Tutorials collab, which is also kind of a See Me From the Moon like pinky highlight. So I think that's it for highlight though. I had a very highlight heavy rotation last rotation. So this rotation is going to be blush heavy because we're about ready to go into the blush drawer, and there's more blushes that are new that I need to pull in. So, do you guys see this right here? All of these are coming in. So these blushes, there's 3 blushes in here. There's this blush, there's this cream blush. These are all coming in. And then this is my only new bronzer. So I'll bring that in. So the No Limits, LYS No Limits bronzer, and mine is in the shade Hope, which is the light one. We have a mini cream blush from Ulta Beauty. It doesn't have a shade on it, but it looks kind of pretty, and it was in a free gift with purchase. I have the YSL Make Me Blush powder blush in Nude Lavalier. And then I have my 3 new mini Kosas Blushes Life trio. Those 3 blushes in there. And there are, you know, a really good gradient of shades in there. I think I have enough blush to, slather my whole body in blush this next go because of the blush palettes in addition to the singles. What the heck am I going to do with myself? I am not bringing in any more blush. However, I only have the 1 bronzer, so I am going to bring in another bronzer. And I think that the bronzer that I want to bring in, actually, I might do 2. I have a cream. I think I'm going to bring in, excuse my head, the Juvia's Place Duo. I'm kind of going back and forth on whether to put this into my project pan next year, but I mean, look, that's so full. That's such a full bronzer, so probably not, but we'll see. And then I'm also going to bring in, what if that other bronzer isn't a good contour? Maybe I'll bring in the NARS Laguna. It's been a minute since I've used this. And then I'll also bring in the Fenty Matchstick in Amber for a contour just in case I need a contour. So those are the bronzers that I'm bringing in. I think I have a ton. I have so much stuff. I don't know how it's all going to fit in this drawer. I do this every single time. All right. The last thing is single eye products. And just as a reminder, we do have the Kaja Bento box and 2 ColourPop Super Shocks already in rotation. So I think I have a shadow stick in my project pan. Do I want to bring in single eyeshadows? I think if I brought in any single eyeshadows, it would have to be the liquids. And I'm not into liquid right now. I've got eczema on my eyes and my eyelids specifically. And sometimes when I'm having a flare up of it, like these liquid eyeshadows just look like poop on my eyelids. So I think I'm not going to pull in, I think I'm not going to pull in any of these single eyeshadows this time. Yeah. Will that be a mistake? I don't know. I don't think so. I think it'll be fine. So that is going to close and we are calling it good. And now we're going to go put all the stuff in the drawer and you guys will hear the clicky clacky noise that so many of you like so much and some of you hate. I'm so sorry about that. But we're going to see if we can fit all this stuff into the drawer. Every time we do, but every time I have so much stuff I just don't know how it's all going to fit. So let's go try it. Let's go try it. All of that stuff right there has to fit in this drawer. Oh dear. Why do I do this to myself every single time? All right, let's try it. Putting you on fast forward for the clicky clacky. I think that's it. It has to also make sense to my brain, which is why I moved this stuff over here, because it didn't make sense to my brain that the single shadows were over here, and I have space for one more single shadow, so I might go grab one. I think I'm going to pull in this one. It says ColourPop on it, but it is actually a repressed NARS shadow. It's NARS Phoebe that I repressed into this pot because, you know how NARS packaging gets really sticky and gross. I couldn't handle the packaging of this before. So I'm going to put this in here. It's a really nice deep purple. I think now is the season for those deep, like, I don't know, like jewel tone colors in my collection. So I feel really good about that. I think that this looks really, really good. I'm really pleased with how everything fit. We have, you know, bronzers, blushes, highlighters, palettes, face palettes. All of our lip products are in here. Like, there's so many lip products in here. It's not even funny. I think I'm going to unwrap these lip products that still have the wrapper on them. I feel like I need to do that with this too, because I feel like that's maybe part of the problem. Like, I pull for it and then I decide that it's not worth the time of trying to open up the packaging, and that's why I just don't use it. And as you can see, it doesn't take that long, but when I am trying to get ready during the day, that is just not something that's in the cards for me to do. So I just don't. So I think if I unwrap these things, I'll be more likely to try them. And I have tried these LA Girl Sheer Tint lip balms in the past. They have been in my Shop My Stash rotation before, and I like them a lot. This one is in Sheer Peach, and this one is in Sheer Rose. I just realized that I have a lot of, like, balmy type lip products or glossy type lip products in my Shop My Stash this time, but I think, like, truth be told, Like, I am a gloss kind of girl year round anyway, so there's that. But this one is sheer rose. This one looks a lot more pink than I like for myself, but we'll see. Yeah, lots of lip products we got, but I'm really excited about how this looks in here. So that is it. That is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me on my everyday makeup drawer rotation. I'm so excited to try these things. I love how I do this right now with making sure that all the new stuff gets pulled in to my next Shop My Stash rotation so that I get use out of the new stuff in my collection right away. That's not something that I've ever done in the past, so I'm really happy to be doing this. I did notice going through my inventory recently that there's an awful lot of things that are in my regular drawers that I haven't used, so I might go through and start pulling some of that stuff out. But hey, y'all, we got it all in here. And we managed to keep everything from the last rotation. I think that there was only a couple of lipsticks that I was kind of hemming and hawing about. But this is one of the first rotations that I've done that I don't think anything got decluttered. So really happy with that. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed the Shop My Stash rotation. And that said, I hope that you and yours are well. I hope that you are all safe and healthy and getting along as best that you can. I hope that you're all loving each other. Complete the heart, complete the heart, complete the heart. Loving each other, being kind humans, and living your best life. And until next time, bye, friends.